Hello everyone, this is next part of tutorial videos about creating gardening system, and first we will make some changes in weed spawning because now weed can spawn right on a tomato or right on a plant. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna open weeds loop function, and here we're selecting a place where we're gonna spawn a weed. So let's copy it. Let's cut it from here and create a new function, call it generate with position, and paste it here. Here we are generating a position. Let's also not a position. Let's generate with transform, and let's make transform here. This goes into location, this goes into Z rotation, and this goes into scale. Right after that, we're gonna check how far is this position from plants that are placed in this garden place. So we're gonna get plants and for each loop through them. And we're gonna get a world location of each plant. So get actor location. And here we're gonna check a distance from a place where a weed gonna be located. Here it is, here is the distance. And now if distance is, for example, less than, I don't know, maybe 50, if it is less than 50, then we should regenerate a location. If it is so, then we should make a variable and call it should regenerate. By default it is false, and here we setting it to true. And after that, we need to break from for each loop. So we need not just for each loop, we need for each loop with break, like this. And after where setting should regenerate to true, we're gonna break from for each loop. Also, this function gonna return us a transform, and it is gonna be a transform. So let's place it here, and on completed, we're gonna call and return some transform. Here we're gonna check if should regenerate is false. So if it is false, then we're returning this transform. But okay, if should regenerate is false. But if should regenerate is true, then we're gonna return something else. So then we're gonna recursively run this function again. So we calling generate with transform like this. Also, we need to ensure that we will not have an infinite recurse because it may crash project. So let's make an input and call it temp. Temp is of type integer, and by default it is gonna be 0. And here we're gonna get attempt plus 1. And on the start of this function, we're gonna check if attempt is less than, for example, 10. If it is less than 10, then we're going to this for each loop. If it is false, we're gonna return zero transform. So output transform, and let's add a boolean called success. And in this case, success will be false. In these two cases, in this case, success will be true. Okay, and now on with loop, we call in generate with transform function. Attempt is 0, and if it is success, then we're spawning an actor with this transform. So let's recombine everything like this. Also, from the last video, I've changed a chance of with spawning to 15%. That's fine for me. So that's all about weeds. Now we need to make them affect our plant growing somehow. So every time we spawn, we need to change for every plant here, plant grow speed. So let's open a plant blueprint, and we should have some factor of growing. So let's make here a growth factor called of type float, and by default it is 1. And every time on the grow loop, we're gonna multiply this grow speed on grow factor. We're gonna multiply it, and then and only then we're gonna add it. Okay, now we need to change this grow factor from our garden place. So if we've spawned this weed, then we're gonna get all plants that are planted in this garden place, and for each of them, let's add a variable and call it weed damage, make it float. Also, it should not be here, it should be in weed blueprint. So let's open a weed blueprint, base bp weed, and add a variable here called damage. Not damage, grow speed damage, and it will be type of float, and health damage, also it will be type of float. And by default, for example, grow speed damage will be 0.1, no, 0.15, and health damage is gonna be for example, if health of every plant is 100, each weed will decrease health of a plant by, for example, 7 health. We don't have health yet, but we will in future. So now back to BP Garden Place, and for each of plants we're gonna set factor, set growth factor, and the growth factor will be get growth factor minus damage of this weed. So let's get weed and get growth speed damage. So we are decreasing it. Also, we should clamp it between 0, 1 and 1. And it will be our new speed growth factor. So every time a new weed is spawned, then growth speed of a plant in this garden place is decreased. Also now we don't have a health, but we will add it in the future. So that's all, I think. And I've added, I think that I have added a removal, a collecting of a weed. So Also, when a weed is destroyed, we need to add some grow speed to a plant so that after destroying a weed, a plant will grow normally. So we have to handle somehow that weed is destroyed. So I will let's open BP weed and let's check which functions we have here. Destroyed. So we have a function called destroyed, and on destroyed we're gonna tell garden place that it has been destroyed. So let's make a dispatcher and call on destroyed. Oops, on destroyed. Name is already in use. Maybe we don't need to do it like this. So let's on destroyed. Yeah, we we I think that by default Unreal Actors has such dispatcher called on destroyed. So in garden place, let's bind this on destroyed this with on destroyed event. So call bind event on destroyed like this and like this, and call create event and create a matching function called on with destroyed, and it will receive a with. That's it. Now what we should do on with destroyed is what we're gonna get every plant again, and for each of them we're gonna add growth speed factor. So we getting speed get factor growth factor and add this with damage. We are getting with is just an actor here. Okay, we have to cast it. Cast to BP with, and we have to get damage, get growth speed damage, and add it back to growth factor. And after that, we need to set growth factor, and it is gonna be this one for each of the plants. Also, we have to remove. Oh no, and that's all for now. So let me check again if everything is fine. And also we should clamp it, of course. So here let's clamp growth factor here between 0, 1 and 1. And now let's plant some tomatoes in different places. I will make a big garden of tomatoes and we will see. Okay, and now let's plant a tomato everywhere. And wait a little bit. They should grow with approximately the same speed because they have been planted approximately at the same time. Okay, okay, as we can see, one weed appeared here, and these two tomatoes will grow with with less speed than others. So maybe one here, maybe tomatoes here will overgrow this one. So let's wait. I think I will time lapse it if I will not forget. So as we can see, they're going to another state. And let's see, I planted them from left to right. And it doesn't affect it too much, or it doesn't work, I don't know. Let's debug it. I don't see a lot of changes now. So with spawn chance. Oh no, let's BP plant parent. So we are multiplying it on growth factor. It's 1. And in BP garden place, we're clamping it between 0, 1 and 1. And on width loop, we're subtracting grow speed damage. Grow speed damage is 0.15 by default. Okay, we will check it in another way. I will add the possibility to, okay, on pickup of wheat, I will just destroy a wheat. I will just destroy wheat, and that's only my logic of my interaction system. So now let's create just 2 gardens, and on one we will not touch weeds that appears there, and on second one I will remove every weed that I will see. So let's go here, and one will be here, and the second one will be here. Now let's plant tomatoes. For example, one tomato here and one tomato here. Now let's watch them growing. It will take some time. I will remove every weed from the left garden. Yes, and now you can see that this tomato grows much faster into the next phase because it doesn't have any weeds. Luckily, I haven't removed anything. Luckily, all weeds appeared in on this tomato, and let's see when this tomato will grow. And only now it has grown to the next phase. So that is the logic of weeds. And thanks for watching. See you in the next video.